Deuce and Mo, they tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the pod, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live!
Do it for Deuce and Mo.
Happy Thursday night. Deuce and Mo live. Appreciate all the basketball sickos. Late hours after this game. You guys are the best.
Yeah. What up, Deuce?
Hey.
Hey, Morgan.
Hey.
I'm rooting for y'all.
How about those 19 and 55 Sacramento
Go
Kings?
gang.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
At least we got an entertaining game tonight for those who were locked in, because if you're locked in this
Facts.
time of year, you are a sicko. For those wondering why we're on so late, I do like to remind you guys, when the Kings are on the road and we're doing TV together, pre and post game like we were tonight, we have to go to downtown San Francisco. So we got to drive back from downtown San Francisco. The only difference is coming up this weekend. We are on Saturday, Sunday. So Saturday, we're going to be on a little later, but we'll be doing it from San Francisco and obviously staying the night there.
There you go.
So just a little schedule for you guys.
I hope
you know?
everyone remembers the schedule.
Yeah, please. We'll be quizzing you soon. Okay. Thank you. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. All it does is help our channel grow. We'll talk a little bit about what went down tonight between Orlando and Sacramento. And then a couple of NBA topics I want to throw out, Morgan, especially after what happened last night in the NBA with Houston and Minnesota,
Okay.
Oklahoma City and Boston, and some Orlando Magic thoughts. A little concerned about them.
Ooh, Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
Are they still doing that after wins? Even if the vibes are a little off with them right now?
I mean, we still do the beam after win.
Oh, I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just wondering if they
Then I'm
still
going to
do.
say yes, but I don't know.
All right, let's give some love to Jesse James. What's up, TR the
Jesse.
Star, who asks, how tall is Alan Styles? How tall are you, Morgan?
I am 5'6".
Yeah, so he's like 5'4".
No, he's
and
taller
then
than
we
me.
go to Digital Henry. What's up, Digital Henry? I love Alan. Good guy. Adam and Lincoln. What's up, K-Mord? Appreciate you being here. Cats, Pablo, Banta, Digital Henry, Adam and Lincoln. Appreciate all you guys.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, Gotham? You too. Ash, you guys are the best. All right. Any other things you want to pop off on before the show starts, Morgan?
Ready to start the show.
Okay. Thought there was a question.
When was there ever a question?
I don't know. Adam says, Deuce and Mo are watching March Madness in the background. With this current setup, there's no TVs in front of us. There's nothing.
I think they're talking about even during the Kings game. And it's like, no.
No, trust me. I mean, our eyes are glued to the Kings. But we'll be at March Madness tomorrow. The women's March Madness at Golden One Center. Oh, yeah.
But wait, write that down. But before you even get to that, it's funny because we literally have had managers ask us, like, oh, how are you guys watching this game? Like, they're down 30 or, whatever it was the other night. And it's like, because that's how sports work. Like, you have to, if you are a true sicko, you will analyze the game. You won't just say, what went wrong? Huh? Oh, no effort out there. Do some cliche bullshit. No, like, we watch the game every single minute, every single quarter. So, no, there is no March Madness going on, and we're watching Kings basketball 24/7.
With the Kings, it's more like March sadness. Am I right?
No.
All right. Do some Mo. Coming down. 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Juice and Mo podcast, recording this on a Thursday night, hours after the Kings went to Disney World. Orlando, Florida, to take on the Orlando Magic. The last time the Kings saw the Magic, they dropped a franchise record 27 made threes. What was in store tonight against an Orlando Magic team coming into this game who had lost 6 consecutive games? Doesn't look like it's flowing well. Well, the Kings were competitive throughout this game.
Yeah.
They got down, but dug out of it. Allowed 39 points in the opening frame, but it was competitive at halftime.
Sure was.
A little bit of separation, but the Kings would not go away. DeMar DeRozan was massive, especially in that first half. And how about Daeqwon Plowden in the fourth quarter? He had a career game with 23 points, including 15 in the fourth quarter. But down the stretch, Banchero and company too much. They beat the Sacramento Kings 121-117. Kings now 19-55 on the season. This podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How you doing, Mo?
I am fantastic.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel great. I love, as we all know, Morgan loves an early game, an early tip-off, 4 o'clock tip. Love that life. Because then it's light outside when you get out of the studio and you're like, I only have to drive 90 minutes back home and then do a podcast and all the other things. But it's just like, it just feels 20 times better.
It's just a good time of the year basketball wise, because it's like, all right, the playoff races are starting to heat up. You got the men's and women's NCAA tournament going on. We're talking about draft prospects.
Yeah.
Even when the Kings are like not good, it's like, okay, that's exciting that we have all this going on. And then tonight, we actually got a competitive game, unlike what we saw in Charlotte when the Kings lost by 44 points.
Jesus.
The Hornets knocked down 26 three-pointers in that game. Tonight was just a lot more enjoyable. We'll talk about this game, and we're going to bounce around the NBA. We've got thoughts on the Orlando Magic and where they're headed long-term, plus takeaways from that Houston-Minnesota game last night that was absurd, and the Boston-Oklahoma City game. Super intriguing.
So fun. So fun and intriguing. But after this game too, I felt good because a competitive loss. That is what you want at this time of the year. I mean, sure, I know there's people out there who's like, no, I really want a competitive win. Sure. Like, do you? But a competitive loss to me is just like so money for the Kings right now, as they still want to make sure that they're in a good spot for draft positioning, while also making sure that they're competing, playing the right way.
I will admit this. I went to Tankathon earlier today, and the Kings right now are in that 4 spot still. I did run it a couple times. I don't remember the results, so we'll run it right now for the podcast.
Deal.
Early on, Kings in that 4 spot, 19-55. Simulation lottery. Kings dropped to 5. Okay, not terrible. There we go.
There you go. That's
There's
what
your
it's gonna
lottery
look like.
simulation for today. Actually, this would be terrible because Indiana getting number 1 would irritate me. Washington getting number 2 in this scenario would irritate me. The Hawks getting number 3. That's the Kings' next opponent. We have to talk about them too. Let me write that down. Hawks. And then the Kings would be 5th, Brooklyn 4th. Anyway, hey, it's all fun. It doesn't matter until May 10th. This game tonight, where do we start with it? You want to start with the
Just
Kings
the
angle?
good.
Yeah. Look, I was happy to see the Kings be competitive in this game.
Especially after what we just came off of against the Hornets.
And they got some bodies back tonight,
Mhm.
at least momentarily. Killian Hayes returned, but then left the game with a different injury, a hand injury, a finger injury.
Yep.
Precious Achiuwa was back in the lineup. He was a lot of fun, per
Yay.
usual, and that was a big lift for them. And we saw a new face, but a familiar face, Daquan Jeffries, who the Kings signed to a 10-day contract today, was in the lineup. He had been playing with the Stockton Kings, and he's been awesome this year for the Stockton Kings. So they had a little more firepower, so to speak. I thought one of the big differences tonight for Sacramento, outside of DeMar doing his thing, we'll get to him because he was awesome. I just think their role players just buy into who they are. Like
Okay.
Daeqwon Plowden, Precious Achiuwa, Daquan Jeffries, for the most part, they just buy into what they do well. Hey, we're going to move without the ball. We're going to bust our ass, try to defend. We're going to share the rock. And I think how that's demonstrated most, the Kings had 30 assists tonight, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players had at least 2 assists.
So that's what good, again, I'm not calling this team a good team, but that's what good teams do around the league. They have players buy into their roles. Not just role players buy in to their roles. And that is how you start to build a roster that makes more sense in the NBA. And now, obviously, this roster is far from anywhere it needs to be, especially with all the bodies that are out that are still under contract and going to be on this team next year. Like, it just still isn't going to make sense. But my point of that being to see this group when it's, if you want to call it the garbage time of the year or whatever it is for some people around the league, how they view this time of year when there's under 10 games left. It's great to see that these guys are locking in mentally to understand what they need to do as that player, as that role, because what that will do for their NBA careers and how they will look like a better teammate, and ultimately then how they will be evaluated will be so much more than them just chucking up 20 shots and then having one big game out of
That's
whatever.
it. But also, you have to think that some of these guys, like someone like Daeqwon Plowden, is trying to earn a guaranteed spot in the NBA, earn that contract, whether it's like a 1-year minimum deal or a multi-year deal where he gets, a couple of million and just some level of security, as secure as you can be as like a veteran role player in this NBA. Daquan Jeffries, he has NBA experience. He started like 20 games with the Hornets at the end of last year.
Yeah.
But he's been in the G League the entire year. These times matter. Precious Achiuwa, who anyone could have signed. Anyone. As I hit the mic against my mouth.
Don't get mad.
And the Kings end up signing him, right?
Yeah.
But my point being is these guys aren't trying to come in and score 25 points. Like, they're just trying to play the right way. And that goes such a long way. Most encouraging thing about how stylistically they played in this game was the fact that, DeMar DeRozan was definitely aggressive looking for his, but DeMar was making the right basketball play. And when he moved that ball, the Kings kept moving the ball. It was swing. The extra pass was there. The cutting was there. It was just such a better style of basketball to watch tonight. And I applaud the role players for buying in, because if these guys are going to make it in the NBA long term, they're going to be role players.
But it's a style that also makes you a better individual. Like, not just, how, like I was just saying, like how people are going to evaluate you, but it actually does make you a better basketball player. And if you can take anything away from this challenging, shitty season, it's not only people being like, they're getting minutes, they're getting opportunities. Wow, they are an NBA player. It's what you're doing within those NBA minutes as a team on the floor. And yeah, it was fun to see, obviously, someone like Daeqwon Plowden have the game that he had tonight. And again, in clutch moments, that is something that we've seen from him multiple times.
And Daeqwon Plowden ends up with 23 points in this game. He goes 8 of 12 shooting, 6 of 10 from three-point land. He had 15 points, 4-4 from downtown in the fourth quarter, which made this a game again. It looked like, the game was out of reach. Really, that's what the fourth quarter did the Kings in big time, right? They went that huge gap. I think it was 11:07 mark of the fourth quarter to about 4:52 without a made field goal. There was a free throw involved, but DeRozan ties his game at 95, and then Orlando answers with 12 unanswered, took control of the game.
Finally,
the Kings didn't go away though, and how they get out of it when it was tied 95 apiece. DeMar just missed some great looks. Cardwell had a bad turnover. There's a couple of bad turnovers in there. And when Orlando's able to get some stops, which has been kind of their bread and butter in previous years, they can get into their early offense and good things can happen.
Yeah, it's it was fun to see the Kings kind of respond, especially when they were going down. And it wasn't just DeMar getting buckets. Like, that's the thing that we've seen as a response, not only for Doug and his coaching staff to go to, oh God, let's get the vets in there. Let's get guys that just know how to finish off these games the right way, and we want to try and get the win. It was all the other guys because they're down so many bodies, but also DeMar was missing some shots down the stretch. So for Daeqwon Plowden to have those big moments was awesome.
Yeah, Plowden, shout out to him. He's our butcher and barrel player of the game, breaking news.
Oh, hey.
23 points, 8 of 12 shooting, 6 of 10 from 3, as we mentioned. Our butcher and barrel player of the game comes in with great energy all the time. I'm really encouraged by his 3-point efficiency lately with the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
That's really encouraging to see because he did it at the G League level, but can you do it at the NBA level? He's starting to string together some games. I mentioned the defense. He plays the right way more times than not. He's a nice player, and I'm happy for him. He's our butcher and barrel player of the game.
And make sure you check out Butcher and Barrel. We're going there tomorrow too before some NCAA tournament. It's right across the street from Golden One Center, so super easy to get to, especially if you're going there before an event or even Kings games. And before Kings games, they have pregame deals: $39 for a Wagyu burger, a shot, and a beer. Make sure to check out Butcher and Barrel. Fantastic food, great environment.
Plowden's on a 2-way deal right now. He's definitely playing like a guy that you would be interested in bringing back next year on like a minimum deal.
Sure.
I'm sure there could be some other suitors. I don't know. But for him, what a good opportunity. This Kings team is not going to be very good next year in all likelihood.
Nope.
I expect more changes. And to have a guy that plays the style you want and could play a reserve role and do his thing,
Yeah.
I'm fine with keeping him around. I think it's a good story too. You know, he's 27 years old. He's had to take the long way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
What a crazy path.
undrafted.
Yeah.
Like has been in the G League, got like a little cup of tea or coffee, cup of coffee, cup
Yeah.
of tea, cup of coffee,
Either whatever he
a
likes.
cup of coffee with the Hawks. But other than that, just a G League guy. And
Yeah.
this year with Stockton, he was outstanding. He was really good in the G League, like one of their leaders, played defense, knocked down shots, good athleticism. And then getting the opportunity in Sacramento with all these injuries and where they're at in the season, he's kind of done the same thing. Obviously not scoring 25 a game, but he's also had a couple of games over 20 now. He's had a couple of 19-point games. He's stringing it together.
And you talk about his path and everyone's journey being so different. And what's crazy about his journey, it's still so just not secure, right? Like even with everything that he's doing right now, like there could be teams that like him. The Sacramento Kings could like him, and the situation could just not work out again on a roster, just not make sense for what they want to see and what they really want in someone that's 27 years old and how much they want to pay them and everything else. And so like when it gets to that point, like it's got to be very hard mentally. And so for him to just lock in the way he's been able to do with this journey, with this path, and to have a night like this, even in a loss, it's just so cool.
Yeah, I agree. Happy for him. And the Kings might be the first team in NBA history to have 2 Daequans on their team.
You don't think I can't imagine.
No.
Yeah.
Daeqwon Plowden and Daequan Jeffries.
Wow.
There's no way there's been 2 Daequans on another team. I'm going with it.
Okay. Hey, anyone out there wants to research that, let us know.
Oh,
Let us know if Deuce Mason is wrong.
Other good stuff from tonight, DeMar. In some ways, I was just stunned at how easy he scored the basketball tonight. I thought Orlando's defense was really bad for a team that you would have expected to be desperate. But focusing on DeMar for a second, it was a lot of single coverage.
Uh-huh.
He ends up with 33 points. He had 17 in the second quarter alone. He was 12 of 24 shooting, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He also had 11 assists and 6 rebounds. And to be honest, late in this game, the shots stopped dropping for him, right? I think he was like 2 of 8 in the fourth quarter. But one of the key plays late, that double came, and Plowden came over for a screen and then flared out. And you know, DeRozan wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to pass him the ball. No, he gave up the ball, and Plowden took the 3 and made it.
Pass.
He made the right play, and that's no matter how you feel about, oh, the Kings, I don't want them to win games. We all know how everybody feels about that, okay? But the players on the court are just going to play basketball, and DeMar DeRozan's ability to just read the game and play the right way. Hey, they're going to give me single coverage with guys I feel comfortable scoring on. I'm going to score. Oh, even when I'm missing shots, I'll take some, but I'm not going to just hold on to the ball all day long. I
No.
thought he played a really strong game.
I totally agree. And even it's like you saying, even when he was missing those shots that he was missing, I looked at you and I was like, those are usually fucking automatic.
And
for
they were
him.
like in and out.
Yeah, it was, and it's like you said, it was the single coverage. It wasn't like he was trying to fall down and manipulate a call or do anything like that. It was just the ball was not going through the net during that tough stretch, even though he finished 12 of 24, 50% from the field, finishing with those 33 points. But it's the 11 assists that I loved to see for DeMar DeRozan because that's what he's been doing, especially as of late, just making the right play, being the professional out there. Even in some of his games that he has struggled in, like he'll make the right play. And what I loved is that tonight the right play was really positioning guys to finish and to get the bucket. And so, yeah, it was just one of those games from DeMar where you're like, oh, I'm so glad there's an adult out there on the court, especially after such a bad loss against the Hornets.
It was also good to have Precious Achiuwa back. Another one of my favorites. He comes in 14 points, 9 rebounds, a couple of assists, a couple of steals for Precious Achiuwa tonight. And I thought he had a sequence in that third quarter where there was a little bit of separation. It helped get the Kings back in the game.
Sure.
He had one play. He had the ball right underneath the basket, 3 guys around him. That just goes up strong, finishes. Then the other end, it looks like he's going to, the Kings are going to give up a basket on the other end. He comes flying in, blocks a shot, gets the rebound, and goes scores on the other end. I'm like, this is a momentum swinging play. He scores on one end, makes a defensive play, scores again.
Yeah.
I love his energy, dude.
It's so, what's the word? It's consistent. It happens every single night that he is out there, even when he's struggling from other places on the court. It's like you can always rely on him to bring that energy, to bring that strength. And I said it so many times, every single post-game show, every single podcast. It's crazy to see that he was not on an NBA roster before the season and that the Kings got to take a look at him and now like hopefully get to have a home for him because he's the type of player that any NBA roster would want. Because of his ability not only to be tough on the offensive end and to play his role, he's so smart at reading the game and moving without the basketball, even if it's like a little high-low action, whatever it is with the big. But on the defensive end, he's capable of guarding people in the paint, but moving along with people around the perimeter. And so he's just so versatile, and I have just loved Precious Achiuwa all year long.
He's on a minimum deal. He's about to get paid this offseason.
I know.
And when I say paid, I'm not saying he's going to make like $20 million, but you know what I mean? I just think he's going to have suitors around the league where this offseason he was waiting. He was waiting for something to happen. The Kings ultimately move on from Isaac Jones and pick up Precious Achiuwa.
Great job. But also, what do you think like his, if you had to guess right now, and you could be totally wrong and you can be off and have the wrong number. I know it depends on the team too.
Yeah, I mean, could he still be a minimum guy if he wanted to go to a team that was competing? I don't know. I don't know Precious Achiuwa at all.
Yeah.
But if I was a player, I would be like, can I find like a situation where I could like have a role on a good team?
Yep.
Now,
like,
maybe
because I still want to play, but I want to be part of a team that already has a system.
But maybe he's like, no, I like these minutes I'm getting here. I've enjoyed playing in Sacramento. They put some trust in me to go out and do things. They have allowed me to go out there and show my defensive versatility.
They have to pay me a little bit more money, the Sacramento tax.
Yeah, I feel like the Kings would have to pay him more than another team.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, $5 million a year, $6 million a year.
Oh, you think it's still even that low?
But I can't imagine. I mean, he's 26, 27 years old. It's not like he's
That's what I'm
35 with like a history of, he's got bad knees or a bad back. He plays tough. I don't know.
That's what you say 5 or 6, but I feel like today's NBA, and that's why, like, I know whenever we say a bigger price, people are like, no one deserves to get paid that much money, but it's just like, that's today's NBA.
I also think the Kings, they have got a lot of salary stuff to figure out with like the tax and because of all these contracts they have. So it's really tough to say, would they pay him $8 million? Yeah, but then they're in like a tax situation.
That's what I was.
don't know.
Okay.
I like Precious Achiuwa. I think in the perfect world, what is he? He's a backup coming off your bench, but a spot starter too. And he has shown kind of why he can do that.
That is perfect world.
I've been impressed with his ability to attack.
Yeah.
I mean, he's knocked down threes at times, his rebounding, defense, his energy. And you want guys like him that are just good culture guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like even, like I'm not trying to glaze him so much, but even when they've won games and they have this little bit with Max, Dylan, Neek, and Precious with the beam.
Yeah. Sunglasses.
Yeah, you okay, you get it from the rookies doing it, but
Yeah.
like he's this like very intense guy on the floor.
Uh-huh.
But I don't feel like that's how he is away from the floor.
Seems like a good teammate.
Yes.
Seems like, and
Yes.
it's so funny. We say seems like because it's so true. Like he's like one of the guys that we haven't been able to get to know or be around. But on top of that, it's not like there's a whole bunch of practice time
No,
where it's like,
no.
oh yeah, you know, we had this interaction or this interaction. That's just not Precious. And so then when you get these little stories that Dylan Cardwell told us that he was the one that started doing the sunglasses and wanted everyone to wear sunglasses. And it's just like, he thinks it's cool to kind of bring people together and have that moment. And it's like you said, he's been in the league. Like, yes.
I do want to acknowledge one thing that's just
What?
on my mind. We sound very positive today. Okay. And
Dude.
no. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Hear me out. If they won this game 121 to 117.
Fucking pissed.
That's what I'm saying. If it was 121, 117 Kings winning tonight, would we be having the same tone right now? Honestly, I think, you know what I think? I think we still give the same love to the individuals.
Yeah.
But also really going,
Frustrating.
well, this is what it is. This is what happens.
Dude, well, because look what I even just said like 5 minutes ago. I was like, you know, DeMar making the right plays down the stretch, and you know they didn't have to use those guys to win the game. They were trying. He was making the right play and swinging it to Daeqwon Plowden, but they also don't have those guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's like DeMar is the guy, plus Russ was the guy that Doug would keep going to down the stretch. I guess Precious at times was part of that conversation when they were starting to
Yeah.
win some games too. So yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Let me
Also,
live.
with Russ, you mentioned Russ.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's going to be back anytime soon
No.
with that big toe thing. And I feel like that foot problem has been lingering for him
Mhm.
because we noticed a theme. He started sitting on the second night of back-to-backs.
Yeah.
And there was a game where it looked like his foot was bugging him. I wonder if he was like, dude, I just want to tough it out for as long as I can.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where it's like, what are we doing here?
Like, don't tough it
Yeah.
out. Let people have the minutes that they
Ugh,
need to have
no.
and everything else. And I think it's good. I think it's good for this team and for some of the opportunities for other people to just have.
And also, he's super engaged on the bench,
That's
dude. He's
it.
constantly coaching these guys, pulling them over, talking about things. I saw him talking to Cardwell tonight, talking
Yeah.
about positioning or something. And I don't know.
Levine
Those
was
were
there
good-
too,
yeah,
which I haven't seen Sabonis around. I don't know where he
Sabonis,
is.
from what I heard, I think he was with the Kings. He dropped in when they were in LA for the
good.
Clippers game. And I think someone said he was like crutches.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to travel him there. I've been surprised he hasn't been in Sacramento.
Yeah. No. And it's just I'm shocked more people haven't asked that question too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
but
don't
I guess
know.
there hasn't been a lot of time to because you're not going to ask that in a pregame presser. You're going to, if anything, ask that at a practice.
Personally, I would like to see him at the home games. I think that's valuable. I mean, again, we don't know what his long-term future is here, but
You just said it's valuable. You're talking about Russ
Yeah.
and how valuable that is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I understand if like, oh, dude, traveling him like on a long road trip, fine. You know,
Yeah.
like Levine's injury was like a hand thing. Levine's already been back on the floor. He's not using the hand he had surgery on, but yeah.
Good for him.
One other observation about this, and before we get to Orlando, Devin Carter tonight, I thought he had some nice moments early. I think the biggest thing for him in these final 8 games is trying to find the balance. It felt like tonight there was a little bit of over dribbling from him, and I don't know. Again, Orlando's a bigger team. Is it harder to read things? That's just not his strength.
It was over dribbling.
But one of the things I know is they gave him the opportunity to handle the ball.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't like they were going, "Hey, Malik, you just do it all the time." They were going to him. He was the guy initiating a lot.
Yeah, he was.
Especially once Killian Hayes went out. Killian Hayes played under 2 minutes before leaving with the injury. But Devin tonight, I mean, he had 5 turnovers. I didn't think the shot selection was great. Even on the shots he did make, it felt like he had tunnel vision.
Yep. He it's so tough because you've seen the good moments of like when he can go off and he just like gets his and it's like keep going, like you have the hot hand, you're on fire, you're locked in physically, mentally, all the different things. And tonight it's like what you just said, the tunnel vision of like maybe he felt, I know his dad was there. They showed him on the broadcast, and maybe he felt even a certain way, a certain confidence of like wanting to do a little bit more and show what he could do. And by doing that, he was doing too much. You talk about the 5 turnovers. It wasn't just like, oh, he mishandled and the defense was good. He was driving into like 7 people. Yes, there's all of a sudden 7 people on the opposite team on the defense. But not only that, then he would like, he had a few passes that were like chucked out of bounds. Like it was not on target at all. The decision making was absolutely horrid. And those moments, I'm always like, he's not a point guard at all.
Yeah, and I'm fine with him trying it sometimes, but that's where I'm like, all right, put him in the best position to succeed because you've seen him get hot in games. You've seen it. And I would rather him attack off the catch as opposed to being the initiator, bringing it like, you know, when DeMar is going, got the ball, swinging it around, let him attack a closeout. I was encouraged by the fact that in the start of this game, Orlando was leaving him open from 3, and he was not. There's no hesitation. He was taking the shots. Yeah. He missed some, but he knocked down a couple as well. He got off to a nice start. But I'm with you. I think as a point guard, you see the weaknesses there. It's just you've got to be able to read the game at a really high level. And I don't think that's the strength of him. I mean, getting him attacking a closeout or attacking off the dribble, cool. Off the catch, I mean, great. But I don't know about initiating.
Yeah. It was frustrating at times because those were the moments where I'm just like, this looks like really bad basketball. And again, it wasn't, let me tell you, it was not because of Orlando Magic's defense.
Man,
that was bad.
Orlando snapped the 6-game skid. They're 39-34, and they had really high expectations going into the year. I mean, I thought once they got Desmond Bane, you know, my eyes were like, dude, this could be a top 4 team in the East.
Spacing, they've got the big players,
They've really struggled to form a cohesive group this year, and I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, like Banchero missed time. Suggs missed time. You know, Franz Wagner still out. He's played like 20-something games this year, right? Anthony Black's out right now. It seems like they've never been healthy, everybody like at once for a long period of time. That's tough. Last couple of years, they've been one of those teams that, oh, they're going to lock you down. They're going to play good defense, but they can't hit anything from the perimeter. Well, it's kind of the same thing outside of when they play the Kings, when they hit 27 threes, or tonight they were efficient 48% from 3-point land, 13 of 27. Their 3-point shooting is near the bottom of the NBA. And the offense, outside of the late stages of this game in the fourth quarter when they went on that 12-0 run, I was really disappointed by it. I know they were knocking down shots, but the flow just wasn't there consistently. They looked so disconnected at times.
Disconnected as a team, as basketball players. It was weird. It was disappointing because I think one of the more fun things of this King season has been when you are watching a team that maybe you're excited to see or you haven't seen much, you know, like we keep mentioning the Hornets, like we're excited to see what the Hornets could do. Well, that last one ended up being awful. But even with the Magic, I was like excited to see Paolo Banchero, you know, like he's a good young player. And it was even moments with him where I'm like, your sense of urgency is off, or just being assertive, being aggressive,
or settling.
Yeah, it was just off. And you already just lost 6 straight as a team. So I thought you were going to come in with a different demeanor on your home floor. Now, to be fair, Paolo Banchero, the last 3 games has been averaging over 30 points, right? So like he's still been able to get his and stuff, but it still matters how you are getting those 30 points and how you are carrying yourself. And I just wasn't impressed with his attacking and where he was starting to settle. After he started off strong, then he started to settle. And then same with even Desmond Bane. It just felt like he wasn't getting the ball enough or getting enough shots off. And then he had a clutch, some clutch moments at the end.
Well, I really think with them, it comes down to this. They have to get stops again. And when they get stops, they can get
go.
out. And,
Yep.
they've got athletes. And then Banchero obviously has a tremendous ability at his size to create his own shot and draw double teams and make shit happen. Then you get Bane going downhill. He can also space the floor and hit threes. But there's also questionable things even from Jamal Mosley, to be honest. Like, I'm watching this game and I'm like, I'm sorry, you cannot be in a situation when you don't have Anthony Black, you don't have Franz Wagner, you can't have Bane, Suggs, and Banchero off the floor.
Yeah.
I'm looking around going, who's creating here?
Like, are you trying to win?
And the
or
Kings
what?
had a kind of a suspect lineup out, and it felt like, no, this is the time where it's like, hey, Banchero, we're keeping this rolling.
Yeah.
You're going up against this lineup. Let's extend this lead a little bit. Let's make sure this is not a game in the fourth quarter. It ended up being a game in the fourth quarter.
It did.
But yeah, there's so many times
unimpressed.
it's just slow. Everything's slow, and some of that falls on Banchero. As good as he is, like when he's not decisive,
Yes.
it leads to a lot of stagnant offense. And
For everyone.
yeah, no, there's a lot of standing around.
Yeah.
But what was happening in that fourth quarter run? Like they're getting stops, and then Banchero's getting some paint touches.
Yeah.
They're swinging it, and it looks great.
Yeah.
And for Jamal Mosley, it's got to be like, you want to pull, he doesn't have hair, but you want to pull your hair out going, we won this game, and I'm so glad we did,
Mm-hmm.
but we really didn't play great basketball until that chunk in the fourth quarter.
That was when it was. And you shouldn't be doing that against one of the worst teams in the league.
After
Unless-
losing to the Pacers a couple of games
Yes.
ago when they snapped a 16-game losing skid in Orlando.
It should have been just like something snapped with them,
Yeah.
and it didn't. And so, yeah, you talk about the pace and the decisiveness. I mean, it didn't matter if De Silva had the ball and he was going down, and it was like, instead of looking to score, he was looking for whatever the action was and wasn't playing freely. Like, he was like, oh, is someone going to be open that I can just like toss it to,
But
instead of being
again,
like, go to the basket.
to me, with that's I remember some of those sequences
Yeah.
with him, and he still had a good game, 18 points,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
5 of 7 shooting, but he was like the number one option out there.
That's what I'm saying.
You're like, you're not. You got to set your guys up for success a
Mm-hmm.
little bit here. So it's tough because I know there's been a lot of talk about Jamal Mosley's future. There's talk about where does Orlando go from here if things go bad, in the play-in or playoffs, whatever
Yeah.
they end up, because they're on the outside looking in right now.
10th
They're in a
spot?
play-in. They're a play-in team.
Yeah.
They may have moved up tonight. Let's just double check.
Yeah, they
here.
were in the 10th spot going into tonight's
So
game.
they jumped up to 8th.
Okay.
Okay,
Whoa.
so they're 8th. I mean, 7,
know.
8, 9, and 10 are like pretty much tied right now.
Okay,
tiebreakers.
okay.
So they're still in the play-in.
But
But they've also haven't been healthy.
that's fair.
There's definitely questions about the Franz Wagner,
That's what I was
Banchero
gonna
fit
say.
long term, and if things got really bad, maybe they look at moving Wagner
Yeah.
to balance things out. Maybe they look to move on from Mosley, but it's also tough because they just haven't been right. And I think if you're the front office, you're going, hey, the team we put out there to go win, like it hasn't been able to form completely because everyone's been banged up. I don't know. I was just disappointed with how they played in this game
Same.
based on how, again, 6-game losing skid. I just thought this would have been a perfect opportunity to build some confidence, be locked in defensively, and then have the ability to go score on this Sacramento
Yeah.
team. Again, you look at the box score tonight, and if you didn't watch the game, you'd be like, wow, Orlando put up 121 points, Banchero had 30, 54% shooting, 48% from 3, and he hit 20 of 32 at the line. Oh, what a great performance. It just didn't feel that way. Honestly, just did not, watching the game, it did not feel like a great Orlando Magic performance at all. So
It was disappointing.
Yeah.
That's and it's so funny because there was a moment where Deuce and I are going on the post-game show, and we were laughing that we were in this good mood even though the Kings lost, but it's understanding the full picture, and you're in a good mood because you saw some better Kings basketball compared to what you saw the other night. But for Orlando, when we started talking about Orlando, we were so critical, even though they got the win, but so critical with their product altogether. And that's how we are right now. And I think it's because, again, it goes to what expectations were going into this season and just even expectations going into this game, knowing the situation that they were in, playing a really bad team in the Sacramento Kings and not being able to capitalize.
And you don't have a lot of time here to just get right. The season is almost over here for the Kings. They have just 8 games to go.
Ooh.
We got more of the podcast in a second. I want to get to our J Street Dental moment of the game. Do you have a moment from tonight's game?
Yes, it's a sequence. Precious Achiuwa.
The one I brought up?
Yep.
Precious
I'll let you say
scores on 3 guys,
Uh-huh.
block,
Uh-huh.
and then scores again.
Yep. It was 3 possessions, just like freaking the Hulk, scores through 3 bodies, then hustles down the other end. They're in a half court set, gets a block, they get the ball,
Dude.
goes the other way, scores it. It was just like, it's so nice having you on this team.
You know, he would have been so great on the beam teams. Just from a toughness standpoint.
I know.
Could you imagine
they
just
need
having
and
that
they
guy,
needed that
size?
toughness. They needed that tough. Oh, why couldn't it have worked out? Well, that's our J Street Dental moment of the game, enriching lives and enhancing smiles. Head to jstreetdentalgroup.com. You can also check out their sister office.
Yeah, appreciate their support
Sacramento
of
River
the
Dental.
podcast. Also appreciate all the sickos hanging out with us as
You
we
guys are
talk hoops
sick.
tonight. Make sure to click the thumbs up button and subscribe. It just helps our channel grow. So basketball fans around the world, check us out. It was fun looking at the YouTube comments last game because I asked a question on the podcast. Hey, where are you watching? What city? Where are you from? Who's your team? Obviously, we know Kings fans check us out.
Yeah.
But dude, I mean, Celtics fans, Hornets fans,
So
not just
cool.
the teams, Mavs fans, Spurs fans. There were so many people who were like, "Oh yeah, I like the podcast. I like the community."
Thanks.
And it felt
We have
like
a cool
amazing
community.
to know that hey, it's not just us Kings fans being depressed here. There's other fans that
Dude,
like dig
we
hearing
have-
us in our misery, I guess.
We have a very cool NBA community with this group. We definitely have like more of the tight knit Kings fan base kind of vibe that goes on with us because obviously being born and raised in Sacramento, loving this team, and everything that we all do, right? We all spend hours watching the Sacramento Kings, consuming that. But I mean, we're all basketball sickos. So then like when people feel that around the NBA and come over
Yep.
here to this community, always welcome. Love it.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
We got more of the podcast coming up. We are presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
The best of the best family. They're all Kings fans, and this is a local winery. So make sure to go check out SentivoVineyards.com. You can check out all their bottles there. Or if you want, nice weather is out, and their tasting room is absolutely stunning. And
It's
in
amazing.
Suisun Valley, which is just 40 minutes out of Sacramento. It's just such a beautiful, nice area out of Fairfield, and it's just growing. The wine culture there is growing, and their tasting room is there. You have to go check it out. Absolutely stunning. Or go to SentivoVineyards.com.
Also presented by our friends over at
Medic Ambulance. Woo, woo. We've teamed up with Medic Ambulance, the trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. From life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is here to serve. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
I think. What was I going to say? Thanks. Thanks so
Thanks.
much for supporting us. Appreciate you guys.
Yay.
Hey, a couple of things.
Mhm.
So long, Kingston Flemings and Darius Acuff. Both of them eliminated
So long.
tonight in the NCAA tournament. Arizona beat Arkansas 109-88. In the loss, I saw a little bit of the first half.
Oh,
Darius Acuff finished with 28 points, 8 of 19 shooting. He was 11 of 14 at the free throw line, had 3 assists, 2 turnovers in what will be his final college game of his career. But
crazy.
it's Arizona who moves on. Braden Burry's another guy that's going to be in the draft that's got a lot of attention. He had 23 points. He had a couple assists, 7 of 11 shooting for him, 7 of 8 at the free throw line. Koa Pete, who is another lottery potential guy, 21 points, 8 of 11 shooting. But Darius Acuff, his time at Arkansas, done.
Wow.
The other game, Illinois, Houston, how about the Fighting Illini beating Houston 65-55 in that game? How did Keaton Wagler do? He had 13 points, 4-14 shooting, 3-6 from 3. He had 12 rebounds and 3 assists, a couple of blocks as well.
Good for him.
He's definitely one of those intriguing prospects.
Absolutely.
Good size, can shoot it. Kingston Flemings played 37 minutes, had 11 points, 4 of 10 shooting. He also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Houston shot just 34% in that game. And then tomorrow, Cam Boozer's in action, taking on St. John's.
Look at them go.
Yeah. And one of the guys that people are seemingly forgetting about because he didn't play in the tournament, Caleb Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, people seem to just not talk about him as much. And it's so funny because we were talking about him on the Kings pregame show. And I was like, I remember watching him early on in the season, just falling in love with him, right? And I just haven't watched any. Why would I just go randomly watch his highlights like anytime recent, whatever? We were showing highlights and I just had the holy shit moment once again. I'm like, yeah, how did I forget about that? How did I forget he could do that on the defensive end, on the offensive end? How did I forget that he was that damn long? Like,
6'10",
my God. Yes.
Freak athlete.
Yes.
Freak athlete, and then defensively, you see the versatility.
Oh my God.
I think people wonder, oh, can he hit from the outside? I think he had flashes of it. They didn't always use him that way, but I mean, legit lob threat. The 3-point percentage isn't high at all. I think it was like 25%, but he wasn't taking a lot of them.
Sure.
I mean, I felt like he could hit some mid-range shots, runs the floor well. His defensive upside is through the roof, and I think more than anything, the guy is. I know it's used a lot. He is a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a competitor. He plays with force.
But
he's my type of guy.
I love like the interviews that I have heard of him or have seen him talk after a game, whatever. It's like, I just love how he carries himself.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys like truly understand the moment. They understand what's at stake too. And maybe it's because for some, it's the money that they're making and they're growing up faster. Like, I don't know if that could be something that's maturing some of these guys a little quicker, because the way that some of these guys are carrying themselves as like leaders and understanding the composure and the leadership qualities and like how that just goes such a far way. Plus being a dog and having that type of mentality. That's exactly Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the team, obviously, but I could see him going number 2 in this draft.
Oh, for sure. And that's something I don't think I've talked about enough whenever people go like, who you got 1, 2, and 3? And I'm always like, well, you know, I become prisoner of the moment, because then you see Cam Boozer play and he has a good game. And then you're like, well, Cam Boozer. And then you kind of.
Acuff is making a push.
Oh, yeah. Darius Acuff. You just go, holy shit. Like his offensive upside, or his game just all together. Obviously, even when he's not playing much on the defensive end, you're just still like, what he can do as a basketball player out there. It's just so elite on the offensive end. It's scary. So yeah. But Caleb Wilson has to be up there, especially because of his body size and being like the modern day NBA type player.
Chat reminded me of this. I was looking at the Illinois box score of the win over Houston and failed to mention Peja's son, Andre Stojakovic, had 13 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 1 of 3 from downtown in the win.
Hey,
congratulations.
Yay.
I think he's like projected to be like a 2nd round guy at this point.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. That's cool.
That's so badass.
Let's get to some NBA stuff, Morgan.
What you got?
Boston OKC. Boston gets the win last night over Oklahoma City. I'm smiling because I'm remembering watching the Celtics broadcast and hearing Scalabrine complain, I think, at every single opportunity. The guy, you know who he roots for. Like, I know, like, also all broadcasts are kind of homery, but sometimes it's like, do we have to talk about every call?
I just want you to analyze.
Yes, just talk about the game for a second. Anyway, about this game, let's not analyze the analyst, Brian Scalabrine, who is very entertaining too. I'm not hating. I'm just like,
I'm
oh
not
my
hating
God.
either. It was just a lot last night. It was a lot.
The Boston Celtics getting that win was so impressive. The way
Yeah.
they did it. I know Jalen Williams is just getting back for OKC, still trying to find his rhythm, but you didn't feel his impact or Chet's. And this is probably me being prisoner of the moment a little bit here. I came away from that game going, if these two teams met in the series, I think I might pick Boston. And I think it's simple. I think Brown and Tatum, those two at the wing spots with their size, strength, ability to create, the physicality, the shooting, and now a Celtics team to me that's just younger and more athletic than the previous versions featuring Horford or Porzingis that you just didn't trust, right? Even like Tillman. It's like they've upgraded all of those spots.
Yeah.
Like Sam Hauser still out there knocking down threes. I know the guy you really liked is Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard in his evolution has just been amazing. I know he was already like obviously going to be a good player, but I think what he's been able to do on the defensive end has been so impactful, especially on perimeter players. And then being just a bucket from the outside, being able to stretch the floor, like you said, Hauser, White, Pritchard. I mean, that just this
Shireman's been good for them.
Shireman knocking down
Kata.
some big shots late too. Yeah. And then Kata being big on the inside and just being able to be like younger, run the floor, but then Jaylen Brown being able to blossom and shine in the role of like, this is my team. And not having to have that argument every year of like, oh, is it Tatum or Brown? Tatum or Brown? Like what I think if Tatum doesn't let his ego get in the way, which by the way, I don't think he's going to, it's just hard to do when you're still like trying to find your confidence and getting back into things and finding your shot and your rhythm. But like, if he doesn't let his ego get in the way and like allows this to be like the team that Jaylen Brown has kind of navigated to this point, I think they will just only see success. Like that will only make Tatum a better basketball player, a better leader in so many ways. Like leaders aren't always the guys that are like taking action. Leaders are the ones that are, you can lead in so many other ways as well. So anyway, how I feel about the Celtics, yes, very strong, but with OKC, I'm not there with you to be confident in picking one or the other if that was the finals preview.
I'm just saying if it was like right now, if I had to pick, it was like,
That's
okay,
fine.
this is what I would say. And I think with Oklahoma City, it's not because obviously they're one of the best teams in the league. We know this, but the playoffs are all about matchups. And look, they went to the wire with Denver. That was really tough.
Yeah.
And what a performance it was for them to get that win in advance. And even, Indiana was tough on them too.
Sure.
I don't think OKC is bulletproof. The way they started this year, I was like, oh my God, maybe they might be. And I think from a weaknesses perspective, just against Boston specifically, it's just dealing with the fact that you've got Tatum and Brown. These guys are big guys. And although OKC has these perimeter guys, Caruso's not like a monster of a man. Lou Dort is super strong. He's not a monster of a man. Case and Wallace is just this on-ball pest. But even watching him in that game last night, trying to deal with Jaylen Brown, I'm like, yeah, he's a pest. But Jaylen Brown is like, I'm confident because I've got the size here. I've got the strength and ability to draw help if I need it, to power through you and get to the free throw line.
Yeah, but I think that's where too, like, just game plan needs to adjust with OKC defensively of even when it comes to their second line of defense and when those guys come up and who are you going to let beat you? Are you going to let Jaylen Brown's lob to Neemias Queta beat you, or are you going to let Jaylen Brown beat you? Like, I don't know, picking and choosing what your poison's going to be on the defensive end and just having whatever your strategy is going to be is just going to have to be tight. Everyone's going to have to be on board and it's going to have to be perfect. And the only thing I will say about Caruso, I'll just challenge back because I know we saw like, we can be prisoner of the moment of what we saw last night and size and everything, but we've also seen Caruso guard Nikola Jokic at the free throw line, so it's
I
like.
will say the next thing though is it's just from Boston's offensive firepower. Like they take a lot of threes, and as talented as Oklahoma City is, and I still believe OKC can win a championship. Okay, I'm not like hating on them.
We're just discussing.
I do have some concerns about the 3-point shooting, and getting Jared McCain was big for them.
Huge.
It feels like Caruso's just had some really bad games from downtown, and his percentage hasn't been great. Dort, can be up and down.
Sure.
I don't even know. I should look at their.
It seems like that with the games that we've watched, but yes, I think it's fair to also make sure to look at the stats and the numbers to back it up.
Yeah, let me click on Alex Caruso. What's Alex Caruso doing? Okay, he is shooting. Yeah, okay, he's shooting 28% from 3 this year.
Yikes.
All right.
Yikes.
What is Lou Dort shooting from 3 this year? Lou Dort from 3 is down to 33%. So, it doesn't mean they don't have guys who can't knock down threes. They lean on those guys a lot defensively, and they might be their best defenders. Can they slow down Boston's offense consistently? That would be my question. But at the same time, I'm like, Mark Daigneault, the way he approaches things, I love it. Because although we all looked at last night's game as a big game, I think Boston felt like it was a big game.
Sure.
I think Jaylen Brown went to that game thinking, this could be a big game for my MVP case.
Sure.
I think Daigneault approaches things big picture a lot.
Yeah.
And he played a lot of different guys. He played so many different lineups
He
last
did.
night because he's thinking about May and June.
Yep. And I, whether that is the right way to go about things or not, he's won a championship.
Oh,
so it's like,
I don't think it's the wrong way. I mean,
Well-
he could back it up.
right.
He's got evidence.
That's my point. Like, exactly. There's track record behind it now too. Something else I wanted to mention about last night's game, one of my other favorite things, and this has been one of my favorite things that we have seen when it's OKC and San Antonio, the physicality, allowing these guys to beat each other up anywhere on the floor. I fucking love it. And now, I don't love when it makes an impact on someone being able to make a move or anything where it's just like, that's a cheap shot. That's got to be called. Like, we got to get this game under control. But there's so many moments where, like, Jaylen Brown is pushing off and someone else is trying to hook a little bit and get him, and they're just kind of letting them play through it and letting them go through the motions. And then you'll see also, like, the refs will try to control things and be like, no, that's a push off. Like, that push off, Jaylen Brown allowed you to create that space.
That
SGA,
guy,
same shit.
Yeah, but Jaylen Brown, when he hits you with that forearm, he is so
It's
strong.
strength.
He
Yeah,
is
it's
so
muscle.
When he hits you with a forearm, it's a battering ram.
It's not even like he doesn't even need to extend because it's just like it's like pure force. And so anyway, though, I like them seeing what they can get away with. And I think when people get all weird about like creating that space, I think it's totally normal. Like you're just, as a human, you're going to do that on a basketball floor, right? And like these professionals, like they still have to find different ways, not to cheat the game, but to, I guess, like make it easier for themselves because it's just become harder and harder with the competition.
The other game last night, my God, it shouldn't surprise us that it was bizarre, but Houston and Minnesota. Minnesota, no Anthony Edwards, right? They've been banged up a little bit, taking on a Rockets team that has just been dreadful in fourth quarters.
Yeah.
Lost some games, a couple of games to Sacramento, which is crazy. Last night, that game ends up going to overtime. Think about Minnesota having a lead of 11 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Houston responding, forcing overtime. Then Houston starting the overtime session on a 13-0 run. Watching that, you're like, well,
Game over.
Game over, and good for Houston. It looks like maybe they figured something out. Like, this could be maybe some momentum for them to like build some confidence together. Minnesota responds with a 15-0 run. And we're talking about a situation where like Gobert's out, no Ant, McDaniels, Naz Reid fouls out.
No.
Excuse me.
Ejected.
He got ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ejection from Scott Foster, my bad.
How dare
And
you. Drama was happening.
which that was a weird one.
That was
too.
so weird.
I want to know what he actually said.
I know.
To get that ejection at that time. That was bizarre. But anyway, and then you see this 15-0 run from this Minnesota group and they escape with a win.
That was crazy.
Houston is such a mess. And someone pointed this out online, and I can't unsee it.
What?
Remember at the end of regulation when Şengün had an unbelievable defensive play blocking the shot, and then like his mouth
Blood,
is
and
bleeding,
he's like,
and he like
yeah.
shook off the blood and
Yeah,
went
yeah.
flying. That was at the end of regulation, right?
Mhm.
They forced overtime on that play. Not one teammate was like dapping him up, like, let's go. Everyone just
Ooh.
went and walked right back to the bench.
I did not recognize that.
They've had
That's a good
a
point.
lot of bad body language. And watching Durant get frustrated when he doesn't get the ball at certain points or the ball is not moved, you just see his frustration. They've got terrible body language all the time. And then in the overtime session, I mean, I'm giving love to Şengün for making defensive plays, and then he gets torched late. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a conditioning thing, whatever. And then it's the same story with their offense. They do not know what to do when the pressure's on, the momentum swung to the other team. It's like, we got to get to KD. If not, Şengün's chaotic.
Yeah, Thompson's not even a threat of any way, shape, or form.
Morgan,
Yeah.
it is rough for
Yeah.
the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, and I don't. It's almost like KD can only do so much as like the adult in the room, as the leader, and be like, either get me the ball or like, hey, we need to do this or whatever. That's gonna fall on the coaches and what they need to instill in some of these players. Sure, they're professionals, they're adults. Like, we can always say like they could figure it out. Sometimes they need help too, and especially when there is a future Hall of Famer on the team, and then I don't know if you want to call him polarizing player in Alperen Şengün,
Super talented.
super talented. It's like there needs to be more things that are coached into these guys, I feel like, than what is being, and I'm not around it, but that's just from my outside point of view of what I've seen with some of their breakdowns, with the way they carry themselves. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird because we all had different expectations of this team going into this season. They lose Fred VanVleet. We all know that story. They missed a point guard, blah, blah, blah. But they still had an identity and a culture, I feel like, that they started to establish. And that has just kind of gone away.
Well, this is on everybody, dude. That's what it goes to. You just mentioned the VanVleet injury. The front office not addressing it.
Oh my
okay?
God.
Udoka not having really much trust in Reed Shepherd, in and out. The second, Shepherd makes one mistake, it's like, you're done. You know what I mean? And then you add to the fact that late game, they just look like a mess. Like, is there accountability? Then you go from some of their young guys that seemingly just lack confidence with the ball in their hands. I mean, Thompson, like, late game, when these defense are like, we're not worried about you, he's thinking about it. Jabari Smith sometimes thinks about things. And then you have the Kevin Durant dynamic. I know the whole thing, I know some people in the chat are mentioning it, with like Twitter DMs from one of his burner accounts that got out, and there was drama with that. It just feels like this has just been a total clusterfuck in Houston.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be, but
and it's translating on the floor, basically, at the end of games and everything
do you
else.
trust them to win a series?
No.
Like,
no, not at all.
Today, if the playoffs started today,
Who would they be playing
they would be
against?
playing the LA Lakers.
Oh, yeah, no. And that's I confidently say no now because the Lakers have been playing such good basketball as of late, but still, it's the way that they've closed against the Sacramento Kings this season. Like, that is more
It's
of
been
their
a theme.
identity. Yeah.
It's been a bad theme for them. I forgot what they said on the broadcast last night about the Rockets' overtime record. Let's see what it is now. Okay, yeah, they're 1-6 in overtime this year. 1-6.
I mean, you've Kevin
I
effing
know,
Durant.
but that's the thing. It's like, teams know you have Kevin effing Durant.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do anything else, and if you have guys out there that aren't confident, you don't. It's pretty easy to defend.
Not blaming KD.
I know.
Like, that's probably one of the only guys I'm like not blaming. And maybe it's because I'm biased and I really like him, but like with someone like Alperen Şengün, when you have big moments, but then you're not big in the minutes and the moments that matter the most, like closing out in overtime, And this is again a theme and something we've seen from this player. Not to take away from all the good things he can do out there, it's still just very frustrating to watch.
It is. It's a tough watch. It's a shame.
Ooh,
There's a spider on the microphone.
it's
What
just a
the?
little one. No.
That's gross. It's hiding under there now.
I'll get it.
I was about to touch that. Are we sure that's not? Are you sure that's not like a poison? That could be poisonous. Morgan, you're doing too much here. This is taking 18 hours. Like, oh, move. I don't mess with spiders. That was a tiny one. More. All right. Whew.
That was, tiny. I don't do spiders. That was tiny.
Yeah.
The fact that you were like even scared at all.
I mean, I was going to kill it.
That's so weird. Why would you kill that? That's so weird. That's weird.
Question for the chat before I get to something else. Is it weird to kill a spider?
They're going to say no. And that's just like such a simple-minded thing to say.
Your idea is like, I don't like spiders, but I should gently grab
It's
it and take it outside.
It's a live thing. Yeah. Like, why would you just like,
I don't know.
and they're good for the environment. They're not good in the house, but that doesn't mean you have to kill it to get it outside.
Okay. Well, I'm the bad guy
Love
now.
thy neighbor.
Take me away.
Yeah. Like, let's teach some good lessons in this world, huh?
You're so stupid. Up next for the Sacramento Kings in my final thoughts. The Kings take on the Hawks.
And
Why do you look at me?
I
like
guess
that?
I'm curious where this one's going.
I'm just talking about the Kings' next
Oh.
opponent. My final thoughts.
Okay. Well, because you said in your final thoughts, so
Yeah.
I'm curious if you had like an angle that you were going to, but no. I
Also,
see.
just a couple
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah. See? They eat
Pablo in
flies.
chat says, I'm aware. Pablo says, I take them out if possible.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay. Grappling Dork says, you just missed your chance to become Spider-Man, Deuce. What a missed opportunity.
That very true point.
And Joe says, I always take them outside. Dude, so this
Deuce.
is me I'm not acting like sometimes I'll get them with a vacuum.
It still kills them.
Oh, okay.
If it's giant.
You know what? I'll be honest. I have some soul searching to do. I guess I'm just a insect murderer. I'm sorry. If I see a spider, a black widow, I'm getting rid of it.
Soul searching?
Yeah. Well, obviously I do because I'm a bad person when the chat's like, I take them outside. How could you ever? I didn't know this was a crime.
Dude, and honestly, like,
I
I'm so
understand
sorry.
your point.
I just want to apologize. I didn't think anyone would actually do that. And I am so sorry. And I forgot that we have the coolest community ever. This is amazing.
All right. Next up, Kings take on the Hawks. Morgan, this Atlanta team has won 13 of 15 games. During that span, they are 7th in offense, 2nd in defense.
Yep.
Jalen Johnson, obviously a fun player, but Nikhil Alexander Walker's been really good for them. CJ McCollum's put up some nice numbers. They're defending. CJ's a Kings killer.
King's killer. That's the thing that CJ's going to go off for a 40 piece. And no, maybe. But you look at everything that you just said, not only about the pieces, but what they've been able to accomplish together as a team, feeling good as of late. Yeah, it's... Again, it's not like I really care if the Kings win or lose in this next one. It's more just like, just give me a good game, especially against a good team. Don't just get blown out, you know?
By the way, in his NBA career, CJ McCollum averages 22 a game against the Sacramento Kings.
Good for him.
49% shooting, 40% from three.
Of course.
That's crazy.
Makes sense.
Also a chance to see Jonathan Kuminga play for the Hawks.
Hey,
So.
Jonathan Kuminga in a Hawks uniform. Yeah, I'm excited.
And then the last thing, really excited that the women's tournament's in Sacramento. Sweet 16 and
Hell yeah.
Elite 8. I mean, Friday in Sacramento, we get Duke LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. South Carolina's here. TCU's here. UCLA's here.
Big games.
We're talking about monster games in Sacramento. And next year, the men's tournament comes back.
Yep.
I don't know. I just love it. And I know we're going to go out there Friday and Monday. We have Kings game Saturday, Sunday. We'll be in San Francisco for that. But
Otherwise,
we're
we'd
going
be
to be out
there.
there tomorrow and Monday. I'm super excited
Me
for it.
too. No, I think it's so cool. Not only that we have it in Sacramento, and you and I did conversations with Deuce and Mo. We did one with Chelsea Gray, and she talked about even Sacramento just being identified as like everyone wanting to get to Sacramento, you know, like that being a place.
Oh, when she was in high school.
In high school,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
She said in high school, you know, like wanting to get to Arco. And I thought about that for, you know, state championships in high school and everyone looking at Sacramento like that. And then to kind of put Sacramento on the map of the NCAA tournaments the last couple of years as well for men's and women's. It's just, yeah, it's been really cool. And it's just so cool that it's in our backyard and that we get to like go watch basketball as fans at Golden Center. That's so cool.
It's not working, dude.
I know.
Let's go.
See you there.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much for joining us. Make sure to hit the comments after the show. I'm so curious where you guys are all from. If you haven't commented, let me know who you root for, where you're from. I like these conversations. We love you guys, but we gots to go.
Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night.
See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.